sense for it? What good would common sense for it do? It's such an ancient pitch, but one I wouldn't switch, 'cause there's no nicer witch than you. It's such an ancient pitch, but one I wouldn't switch, 'cause there's no nicer witch than you.
All right. That was Forge the Sun with Witchcraft. Before that, True Devil with Rips My Heart Out. And before that, Half-Life from Hellbent with VJ Mix. And we started off with The Creeping Chaos with live. Well, it's actually a song recorded live at the Machine Shop. Sorry, I'm very excited today. Got all kinds of things happening in the next few weeks, and I should be proud. Anyway, they're all going to be at the Oddfellow Concert Lounge Saturday, doors at 6:30. Right now, we're going to switch over to some bands that are going to be playing at the Token Lounge in Westland. Faded, a band that was here about 2 or 3 months ago, something like that. A fine young gentleman, really nice guys. They have this band called Faded, and this is their album release party. In fact, we talked about that when we had them to do a live performance here at 11 Mile Sessions Live. So Faded, Echoes of Eons, Wanted, and a band called Portal 27 are going to be playing. Doors at 7. We couldn't find a video for Portal 27, but we're going to play the other 3, including Faded, of course. So let's start out with Wanted, and this is a track called Live to Take It All.
It's our new album we're working on. We're actually going to record that May 26th. First time, you guys get to hear it first.
I'm headed out, I'm all the town. Never seen my face around. Guessing with a bag of plans. Running from a money man. I'm money. It's the money. Money. The high and we are low. To bring the dough. I'm keeping my world as I was saying. Running from the money in me. I'm money. It's the money. Money. Take those chances when you can. I said take those chances when you can. I'm running, yes I'm running. I'm running, yes I'm running for the money. He never got a cent from me. Now I'm the money.
Again, the band Faded. Those young gentlemen were here a few months ago to do a live performance for us, and they were already talking about this thing that's happening at the Token Lounge on Saturday. It's their album release party. That was a song called The Money Man. Before that, Echoes of Eons with a track called You Said, and we started off with Wanted and Live to Take It All. Again, all of those bands, including Portal 27, which you did not see. I couldn't find a video. I tried. The album release party is happening at Token Lounge in Westland over there on Joy Road. All right, stick around. At 7 o'clock, we have a live performance. We have the one, the only, Joe Kidd and his wife, Sheila Burke. They're going to be entertaining us with music and some interesting stories. I know Joe, at least, maybe both of them. I'll have to ask him when I talk to him in about a few minutes. Both poets and both have all kinds of other things going on, and they're a rich part of Detroit history when it comes to music and other things. So we'll talk about that. Anyway, we're going to finish off with a couple of videos. Paul Einhaus arrest. They've been here. They were about a year or so ago. A Rueful Noise and Royal Treatment are going to be performing at the Ghost Light in Hamtramck on Kniff. Doors at 7. Couldn't find one for Royal Treatment. Again, I tried. I always do. So if any band wonders, hey, how come you didn't play a video? It's like, well, you either got to make one or you got to help me find one. Anyway, we're going to do these two videos. Paul Einhaus Arrest is going to start things off with a track recorded live at the Polka Dot Bar just a few days ago at the Hamtramck Blowout. So yeah, I don't know if you were there. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I tried to make it out, but I had a lot of other things going on. But anyway, this is Paul Einhaus Arrest from the Polka Dot Bar this past the 21st of March, 25. So see you in the next room in just a few minutes. All right, good evening, one and all. Welcome to another edition of 11 Mile Sessions Live. I am your host, Scott Boatwright. It's just a tad after 7 o'clock, and I have the honor and pleasure of having Joe Kidd and Sheila Burke with me. Good evening, folks. How are you?
We're great. We're so happy to be back with you. This is our second shot here. We were here almost exactly a year ago, and we're looking forward to the next hour.
Okay. You know, I didn't even do that on purpose either. I have a way of doing things like by accident, happy accidents, if you will.
Yeah, we like that. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be talking about it in a little bit. I guess probably the reason why you were here last time was kind of the same reason why you're here this time. Part of it, anyway. But we have lots of great things to talk about. I know you have a rich history, not just in music, but other things. But what would you like to start out with?
We're going to start with our song, and it's called "Answer My Question," and it came from an idea when we were watching TV, and it's not a political song, but it has to do with political people, and we could watch. You turn on Fox News and you see all these people talking about certain things, and you turn it over on MSNBC and you see people talking about the same thing with an absolutely opposite idea of it. And so this song was born in that realization, and we're ready. Let's do it, Sheila. You ready?
All right.
Take it away.
Come on, speaking now. Oh, speaking now.
Speak from the mountain.
Come on,
Speak
speak.
from the stage. You can't even speak face to face. Speak in disguises.
Come on,
Speak
speak.
in disgrace. Now you speak for the whole human race. Answer my question. That's if you know. Answer my question. I need to know. Speak on the ocean, speak on the land. You can't even speak like a man. Speak to the people, speak on demand. You speak like nobody else can. Answer my question. That's if you know. Answer my question.
right. So you two have been at this a while, huh? You think?
Well, yeah. We've been together now about 12 years, the two of us as a team.
Right.
But we've been doing this for as long as we can remember, really. We're both members of the Michigan Rock and Roll Legends Hall of Fame up in, is it Saginaw or Bay
Bay
City?
City,
Bay
yeah.
City. I always get
Okay.
that mixed up. And
So I want to ask you real quick. Sorry to interrupt.
no, you're not interrupting. Go right ahead.
I was just going to say, so is this one, when it says like Rock and Roll Legends, is it a little bit closer than the Hall of Fame is? As far as like who they actually picked to be inducted in there?
I think it's more local. And well, this is specifically for Michigan.
Well, no, what I meant as far as like truly, anywhere near rock and roll as far as a genre.
Oh, it is. Have you been? If you should go up to the museum and see what they've got up there. They've got everybody that you can think of.
Yeah, we were
From
inducted
Michigan.
the same year as the Spinners, for example. So part of this is based on Joe's legacy with his rock band many years ago called
White
The White Lines. And I came along, we did kind of a remix of some of that. So, yeah, Joe's been a rock and roller for most of his life. Although we both love all kinds of music, and we dip our toe in the waters that are pretty deep. And when we write and when we perform, and the songs that we bring, we speak to kind of current issues or things that inspire us or whatever's going on in our lives. But and boy, do we have a lot of material.
And
nowadays.
every song
do.
we write, they may sound different, but they're all love songs, really. Every song we ever wrote is a love song to something or someone, some idea that we have, or ideal, I should say. And we are just filled with gratitude
Yeah.
and love.
Well, we
for
were
the
very
world.
lucky because both of us were raised in families that love music. So both of us have been doing music since we were babies, like literally. And Joe got lit up when the Beatles came to town. So he'll really tell you all about that a little bit
Well,
later.
let's
So
put it
what
this
you're going
way.
to do?
I was sitting in front of the black and white Motorola on February 9th, 1964.
Okay.
But when we were kids, there was such a great mix in both of our households. I mean, you might hear Johnny Cash, you might hear Hank Williams, you might turn around and hear
Woody.
the Beatles,
Woody Guthrie,
the Beatles, and the rock and roll that came along. So
MC5.
yeah.
That
so
was.
I think we're pretty lucky that we got such a nice mix.
I had the same thing. That's why I
You
think
did?
we're kindred spirits. Yes. I lived with my grandparents the first few years of my life. They were both immigrants, one Italian, one German. This is my mom's parents. And my father was from down south. So just at the very beginning of my life, my dad brought country and rockabilly Billy into the household. My mom was all about 50s doo-wop and the 60s music, including
yeah.
Motown.
Oh yeah.
My grandparents were huge blues and jazz fans. So we had a lot of the Blue Note vinyl records. And before I was even old enough to change the record player, we were listening to all this different music.
All right, who brought in the Beethoven?
Chuck Berry.
I did get that, but then I had cousins in Flint when I got a little bit older
Yeah.
that introduced me to all the Woodstock era and the early 70s music. And then I got a hold of CKLW and started listening to that in the early 70s, and it took off from there.
I got to tell you, I love the freedom nowadays. We have, this rich legacy of building on all that came before us, and then the kids now they're making it up as they go along. There's all of this digital electronic music. There's all kind of stuff. So what I love is this explosion of creativity. And the freedom,
I was fortunate enough to be friends with Uncle Russ Gibb.
Russ
And
Gibb.
Russ taught us
Wow.
everything about that you were talking about the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. I mean, we listened to Russ, and Russ was at the Grandy Ballroom. I used to go to the Grandy Ballroom and when the Five were there, and I wouldn't talk to anybody, wouldn't do anything. I just go straight to the stage and lock in right in front of Fred Sonic Smith, because you had to hold
on tight,
I
yes.
mean, or else you were gonna get killed.
This was roller coaster time, baby.
Yeah.
This wasn't those little rides you get when you're a kid. This is
It's
the-
serious.
It's
Yeah.
the big one.
Yeah.
You got to be this tall to enter this venue.
Exactly.
I was probably still tucked away in the hills of eastern Kentucky when all of that was going on.
One of the things that I say, people ask us, well, what kind of music do you do? And I always say that, well, just think of the Grandy Ballroom meets the Grand Ole Opry. And that's really what we're doing, honestly. It pretty much says it all.
I can definitely see that. Do you throw a little bit of Woodstock in there too?
Yeah, we could do that.
Because Woodstock was all about the peace and the activism and all that. Something that needs to be brought back today, but unfortunately, everybody either wants to squash it or I don't know.
You'd be surprised. Everywhere we go, we find people are actually very receptive to it, and the younger kids especially. So I think there's still room for that.
I wonder,
really do.
the thing that I think about as far as that goes, when I see how the world is progressing or not progressing, it disturbs me. I get disturbed about it. But the people that we run into are not that way. The people that we run into are all for it, all for peace and love and stop the war and equality and everything. And I'm wondering, is that just because we're in that circle? And the whole, I don't know what's going on out on the other side. It's a mystery to me why it's like that.
Just my personal opinion, but I think it's the fact that the richest and most powerful control the media in pretty much every light. And what you get to see is what they want you to see,
And you know what? We're fighting that right now. Thanks to Scott Boatwright, we're here and we are not that way.
All right. Well, let's show the audience again. What do you have for us?
Well, to address what you were just saying a minute ago, here is a song called The Nature of Man. So it kind of does get back to the Woodstock roots. All right. You ready, Joe?
Wait, I gotta get the rhythm to it.
You got all excited.
That ain't it. It's the nature of time, makes you vanish in a rhyme. To be gone without a sign. It's the nature of time. It's the nature of time. It's the nature of song It's the nature of war, makes you want to shout no blood, no pain, no killing floor. No more. It's the nature of war. It's the nature of war. It's the nature of man, make you wanna lend a hand, make you do anything you can, yeah you can. It's the nature of man, it's the nature of man. Well, what do we know about nature? What do we know about truth? What do we know about anything? What are we trying to prove? 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 What are we trying to
Alrighty. So I'd normally ask everybody this. I know you got a lot of songs. I see that's like a songbook there. You could probably do a whole week of karaoke with that if you wanted to. And I
that's a
imagine,
good idea.
and I imagine that's probably not all of them. That's just part of
No.
them, just a small list. If somebody wanted to listen to more of your music, how would they go about that? Is there a way they can go online or anything like that?
Gotcha.
Well, you can find us at our website. It's actually who we are, Joe Kidd and SheilaBurke.com. And you can just Google us and it'll come up. And our music is on Amazon, iTunes, Spotify,
Bandcamp,
Bandcamp,
Pandora,
all of
it's on
the
all of it.
usual markets. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You can listen to a lot of it for free. So we invite everybody
We
to come
do.
on in and listen in and enjoy, and maybe you'll find something that speaks to you for that moment. And leave us a comment. Say howdy.
Yeah,
See, that's my southern roots coming out.
just say howdy.
Say
Howdy, y'all.
That's
That
right.
sounds wonderful. So
Yeah.
you're into bluegrass music too?
Oh,
yeah.
my goodness, we should
Oh,
have brought
yeah.
our bluegrass stuff. We didn't even think about it. Oh, Lord, yeah.
Well-
Let's see. When the secret is revealed and the covenant is sealed, that's when every living man will speak the truth. When the secret is revealed and we see that it is real, Lord, I will be coming home to you. When the mustard seed is grown and its beauty has been shown, babies will be dancing in the womb. The foundation and the rock, conversation and the flood, words of love have risen from the tomb. When every song is sung, every bell has rung, no longer will the mystery be new. When the secret is revealed and we see that it is real. Lord, I will be coming home to you. That's a short version with a wrong
We
chord
thought
in
you'd
it,
never
of course.
ask. And I got to tell you, Scott, we've got books and books of this stuff filled. We write all the time. And if you think we can remember every word of every song that we ever wrote, no.
Bob
So,
Dylan can. I don't
and
know how he does it.
I know, it's incredible. Some people can. And a lot of stuff that we do, but we just don't get real hung up on it anymore. You know, if you go to a symphony orchestra, they're going to have their lyric sheet in front of them.
Oh, I never thought of that. That's a good
I'm not real.
excuse.
I'm not real hung up on all that. You know, the whole point is to. We're the messengers. We're going to deliver some music, and you're going to feel something. You're going to wiggle in your seat. You're going to smile, I hope, or maybe even wake up to something that say, "Hey, you know, I think I know what they're talking about there." You'd be
My
surprised.
motto for our music is folk music for real folks, country music for the entire country, and world music for the whole world.
Oh my goodness, that's
How's
good.
that for an advertiser?
And if they don't like it, folk them.
That's right. Stick a folk in it.
Did you just make that up? Oh my goodness.
There was a method to my madness, so if you get a chance, this will be easy to remember.
Okay.
Go on YouTube, look up Scott Boatwright Bluegrass. You're not going to find me, of course, because I've never been able to do that. You'll know you found the right videos when you find a gentleman playing a banjo in his advanced years. That's my great uncle,
Oh my goodness, how
And-
cool is that?
What's his name?
Scott Boatwright.
Oh, my
Literally, I was named after him.
Oh my goodness, you're lucky.
So if you find that on YouTube, he's going to be playing his banjo. That is my great uncle, and that's who I was named after.
Now, is he from the
Wow.
South? Where's he from?
Oh yeah,
He
yeah.
lived down there?
He lived in, I believe, West Virginia,
My dad was from West Virginia.
because that's where my father was born. That was my great uncle.
Okay, I have to ask what part of West Virginia.
I'd have to ask the family. I'm sorry. My
Oh,
aunts would be able to
okay.
answer that. They're still living in Kingsport, Tennessee, as we speak.
My father was born in Shinston, West Virginia.
Okay. Yeah.
My grandfather was a coal miner his whole life. That's all he ever did.
So this one of the things that happened when Joe and I met. We found out that we had a lot in common. We'd both been doing music all our lives. And, well, I might as well tell the story because everybody asks eventually.
Okay.
But, yeah, we actually, you know, musicians are some of the most wonderful people in the world. They're going to do everything they can to help out other musicians and, you know, everybody really.
Hear, hear.
So we kept bumping into each other, like at charity events that we both came out and contributed our time to.
I kind of
So,
know about that.
Like a year went by and we did it all again, and then he invited me to join him. So we pulled out a song he'd just written the night before, and we did it like we'd been making music all our lives, and we've been together doing our music ever since.
I had never sung that song. It had never been
Yeah,
sung.
and
at all.
ironically, it was called Grandpa Was a Coal. No,
No.
this one was Soldiers in the
Soldiers.
Army of Mercy and Peace.
And also,
Yeah.
ironically, is that
Yep.
a word?
I-
Anyway,
yeah, then he says,
your predecessor over at WHFR, Lynn Gruntz. I know you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know her, but I know you've heard of her over there.
yeah.
She was the first one that ever played any music of ours on any radio station.
Yeah.
Was right there on WHFR.
Nice.
We love her dearly and we miss her.
So we have a history of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So then he says, you know, my grandpa was a coal miner. I said, really? Mine too. He said, my dad was in West Virginia and my mom was from Kentucky. I said, really? Mine too. You know, so, you know, it was just a lot of fun. And from there, the music flowed. And we started writing more and more poetry too. So, you know what's the great thing about kind of having a little maturity on you?
A little time to do
Is
something.
you have a little more time to devote to some of these creative pursuits that maybe you don't when you're a little bit younger. Maybe you're busy doing the 9 to 5 and overtime and raising families. And so our families are grown. And we kind of passed, you know, we're past some of that, and we stay busier than ever. We have a blast, but it allows us to be more free with the, you know, the music and the writing. And
And like I
It's
was
fun.
telling you earlier, we were able to stay up all night. And
like teenagers.
and talk to people on the other side of the
Yeah.
world and do
Yeah,
things.
that's really fun.
It's actually it's a dream come true, honest to God. And we waited a long time for it. And even when Sheila mentioned that when I had the White Lines were playing, I mean, that was the hardest job I ever had. We were carrying those voice of the theater speaker units up and down stairs, flights of stairs, and playing 5 hours, 6 nights a week. I mean, you know, I always people look at the musicians and they've got the wristbands and the headbands and everything. Those things are not decorative. They are functional. They'll keep the sweat from pouring down onto your hand and keep your hand from slipping right off the guitar. Though that's where that all came from. That's real. That's real stuff.
And the same goes for the headbands.
Yes, of course. Because you've not lived until you've had sweat pouring down into your eyeball where you can't see, burning your eyes.
It feels
out.
like somebody poured acid in it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Are you a musician too? Do you play and
No,
sing?
no.
Just
I
kind
mean,
of like it. a
I've
lot?
dabbled in it. I played guitar
Okay.
when I was younger. My dad was a guitarist. He was actually. I don't know if you remember this. He was one of the Detroit Blue Pigs back in the 70s.
Oh my goodness, yes. I think they played at one of our schools or something.
They're very well known in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he was around in the 70s. Unfortunately, he passed early. He was gone by 81.
Sorry.
But he was around in the heyday. There's pictures of him and the Blue Pigs, like in front of the Rensen when it was still brand spanking new. Back in the 70s, they made such a big deal out of it and all that. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they would go around to all the local schools, all the grade schools, the junior highs, the high schools, and it was 5 days a week they would perform for those students. They would show that everybody is like, hey, we're real people just like you.
Yeah.
We're human beings.
Definitely.
We're not here to hurt you. We're not the enemy. We're here to help.
You know, and back then, especially in the late 60s, when around here downtown and out in Ann Arbor and everything, the police were considered the enemy.
Yes, they were.
And they were the enemy sometimes as well.
Yeah.
So it was they bought some of that stuff. And we just last year we lost John Sinclair and Wayne Kramer and all those. We've lost a lot of the revolutionary people that came out of our region here, and we still have Peter Werby and we still have Oshimsky, and so there's still a lot of people still doing it. Laura Grimshaw. And Dennis Lauren. You know Dennis Lauren? He's an artist, rock and roll artist. He's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we kind of like, we've let that become part of our mission as well, to bring that truth out. And not to be preachy, not to be political, raise hell, no. Just, you know, we're not physicians. We're not going to heal anybody or anything.
You're not going to fix any problems.
No, but all we want to do is light a fire. That's all.
Just inspire people, make them think for a moment, you know, something beyond just the blips that they get in the media all the time. You know, most young people now, it's like if you can get their attention for more than 15 seconds, you're doing really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just bursting to tell you a story about kids. Can I tell you?
Yeah, sure.
So we just got back from a tour in Greece, and it was a working tour. So we were in Athens and Thessaloniki. We were in Larissa for a poetry festival, and each area that we were in, we were performing. We were doing music and poetry, and while the people, the culture, the history, the scenery, just everything was so incredible. It was incredible. But one of the things that will forever stand out in my memory, talking about young people, we took a day and we went out into the country, into a rural area. So we got to see what it was like away from the city and away from the seaside resort and away from the tourist attractions. So we're out in the country. We got to see the almond trees blooming. So, I mean, and this was, I don't know, maybe an hour's drive. And we're out there. And these were kids from middle school and high school age. And they were taller than us and very energetic and jumping all up and down and all that.
Screaming.
So they're
They
kind
were
of looking
screaming.
at us, checking us out, like, And they were testing us a little bit, and it was just kind of fun, and we're like, we're cool with it, So we go in, we do a little concert, and I swear, it's like after the first couple of notes, they were like singing along with us. They
It
were
was
right in the palm of our
Beatlemania.
hand.
They just wouldn't leave
And
us alone.
Joe
we
and Sheila,
discovered
superstars.
That's
well,
right.
no,
I-
what I want to say it was about all of us together. So we did some songs about environmental issues and all that. And I'm like, these kids are carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders, the worries of climate change and what have you. And we wanted to give them, one, just a little bit of awareness, but two, a little bit of hope, a little bit of encouragement. Like, look, they're coming up with new technologies now that people didn't dream of, years ago. And you might be the very one to discover some of the answers. So don't give up hope. Don't give into that depression and think, oh my God, it's the end of the world. We could all be Chicken Little. So yeah, we want to call out like we did this song that we're probably going to do next. It's called Last Time I Looked. And so we just want to address this. And the headmistress, what she was telling us is that a lot of people didn't believe in it, or they weren't really into it. But these kids really were. And you got to think about this. These are kids that are 7th, 8th, 9th grade, through high school, walking around every single day with this doom and gloom. Who wouldn't just bury themselves in social media and anything to escape? So it was so great. We ended up having conversation with them, and they led the discussion. They asked us questions. And to say that, maybe we're old-fashioned, maybe we're new-fashioned, but to feel like your voice does matter. Mm-hmm. You might be the one that discovers a solution that's going to save the planet. I mean, we don't know, but to just have a little bit of hope there for these kids, Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox, but I'm crazy about kids. We love to go in schools and work with kids, and it's like Joe was saying, we don't want to get preachy or anything, but you're going to be really surprised at. It's not that difficult to break the ice between the generations. You're going to find out that there's some common ground there, and we just turned it into a day of fun. And I will never forget those kids as long as I live. Like they were just so, their eyes, they were just so full of this energy. And I thought, okay, that's our future. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're going to be okay.
And one of the things that cracked me up when we were there, they knew that we were from, they knew we were from Detroit, right?
Yeah.
And they go, Eminem.
They
These
wanted
guys,
this.
they're out in the woods in the middle of Greece, and they're talking about Eminem and the Pistons.
Oh, right.
That's what they knew about Detroit. Now, when I was in high school, I did a couple of years in high school out in Southern California, and they called me Motown. So things have changed a little bit.
Yeah, you got to move a little bit with the times. It's okay. But at least we're noted for something.
Something, that's right. Now, this song that we're going to do here, we wrote this in a sunflower field out in
Springfield, Ohio.
Springfield, where they
About
eat the
10
dogs
years
and the
ago.
cats.
About 10 years ago, though. This was way before
tastes like
all that
chicken.
started.
Wait, you know what? We come to think of it, we didn't see any dogs or cats while we was there.
Try not to think about it.
This is an environmental song. Put yourself 40, 50 years from now, or maybe 10, and this is Grandpa talking to the kids, remembering how it used to be. And it's called Last Time I Looked. Last time I looked, there were lovers holding hands. Last time I looked, there was peace in the land. Last time I looked, we could all cross that line together in space and in time. Last time I looked, every woman, every man. Last time I looked, I saw light in your eyes. Last time I looked, it could no longer be disguised. Last time I looked, I just had to realize the truth could no longer be denied. Last time I looked, no matter how I tried. Last time I looked, oh, oh. Last time I looked, oh, oh. Last time I looked.
All right.
You should have heard that with the whole room full of these kids screaming at the top of their lungs. You know, they were singing along with us on the oh part and all that. So it's like they were really getting into it. It was a blast.
That's one of the things that I always remind people about music. This is my personal opinion. To me, music is far superior than any other category, like religion, politics. Music brings people together, period. End of story. When you can have somebody that doesn't even speak your language singing along, at least part of it, to your music and enjoying it, that says it all.
Yeah.
I mean, any other category, everybody just stands on opposite sides of the room and, folds their arms and go, that kind of thing.
You know what I think? Everybody's, there was a song back in the 70s, I think everybody's talking at me, that everybody's so busy talking and not enough
Harry Nilsson.
listening. Yeah, not enough listening. And that's the beauty of the music, because it gets us all doing that together.
It's
you
like
know.
when musicians go
Yeah.
around the world, they're always welcome with open arms.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
politicians, depending on what they're doing,
I
they're not
know.
always welcome, One of
Yeah.
the things I always think about it, and it cracks me up, is Cheap Trick Live at Budokan.
I love that record.
And you
oh
can
my God.
and you can hear the Asian kids, mostly girls, just singing along,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
when the Beatles played.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really cool.
There's a bootleg Beatle record from Budokan also. I don't know.
Is there?
Is there?
Yeah.
This is a song. This is a song that we wrote this for as a present to John Sinclair on his 80th birthday,
Uh-huh.
and we were at the party out there by the state fairgrounds, and we played it for him. That was the first time it ever saw the light, and then later on, I guess it was the next spring, we were in Jamaica. And we got to play this song with a Jamaican reggae steel drum band, and it was
Nice.
a thrill. And so what we did was we took it out to Kingsville. Is it Kingsville? Kingsville, Ontario, and we recorded at the studio there. What was that called, Sheila? Sound Foundry. And we just did it live, just like we're sitting here, but it was a studio, kind of like what we're doing here now. And I released it a few months ago, and it's a single, and it's available everywhere, and it's available. One of our best friends bought it from Bandcamp and paid $20 for this song. And
Very nice.
yeah.
That is wonderful.
And I'll tell you, it was a shock. But what I want to say about that is that the person that bought this is also the CEO of a thing called the National Beat Poetry Foundation. And Sheila right now is the Michigan Beat Poet Laureate.
Yeah, I am. I'm your Beat Poet Laureate for the next 2 years, and Joe
Nice.
just finished his 2-year term.
Very nice.
So,
Very nice.
This is only the second time that a couple has received that honor back to back. So I had my little plaque on the wall, and now we got Sheila's on top of that. It was pretty cool.
She didn't like shove yours to the side and push it out the way.
She turned mine around.
Go,
But that's right. I never noticed that. It is. You can't see my name anymore on that.
Well, that's another one of the things that we want to do when we go into the schools and work with the young people is encourage them with their music and their poetry. And it's like, I don't know, could I be idealistic to say, poetry, not violence, or, make some poetry circles and take time to, everybody has their say and people listen. It's what we were talking about a minute ago, And I want to encourage more people of all ages, just write, and find some groups where you come together and take turns.
It's not
and
about competition. It's
No,
about
and it doesn't-
collaboration.
Thank you. And it doesn't have to be perfection, and it doesn't have to be grammatically correct. That's what beat poetry is. I mean, yes, we have learned professionals and PhDs and all the Masters of Fine Arts, all that too, but we got just common folks off the street, and we got kids, and we got people expressing themselves and yelling or crying if they feel like it, or laughing, or, sometimes it can be something as simple as beautiful sunrise or sunset, but there's something magical that happens when people have a say, and when other people do them that honor of listening to them have their say. All of a sudden, we're not invisible anymore.
And we're not enemies. We're not
No,
opposing each other.
it's just, well, I hear you. I see you. You're not invisible. I'm going to think about what you said, and who knows what can grow from there. So I get carried away. Sorry, but I'm passionate about this. I am. So.
It's what it means to be human. That's all it is.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm excited that people are getting into it. This is not something for some category or some little clique or group that's set aside and they got the handle on it. Nobody else can get in. No, everybody can do this, and I love that about it. Anyway.
I think every human being wants that. They want to be heard. They want to be noticed, recognized. They don't need big, huge awards or anything like that. They don't need, well, some people need them, millions of dollars, but the rest of us, you know I exist. You care. So,
You know what we all
exactly.
need?
Especially in this digital age, it's like it's like they don't even look up, and it's just so good to say hi. I see you. Okay, let me hear you. It's a cool thing.
I think what every human being needs is liberation.
Yeah.
all right, let's do it.
From the wall way back, Jericho, to the border town down in Mexico. From the ghetto street of America to the trench town down in Jamaica. We come fighting for what we know is right. We know it's right. We come fighting for justice and equal rights. From the foot of the Pharaoh's pyramid to the grave of the starving immigrant, from the river of the bloody Babylon, from the hand of the big down presser man, I keep fighting for what we know must be. We must be free. I keep fighting on, unified and free. From the police and the diplomat, politician and aristocrat, from the liar and the talking man, holy Rastafari I am. For the children on the reservation,
For the children.
the refugees of every nation, for the prisoners of the occupation, for the soldiers of the revolution.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, we should talk about a couple of things. Of course, there's festival I'm presenting that you folks will be performing at.
Yay, Scott.
Thank you, thank you. Any other shows coming up between now and then?
Yeah, we're well. We got a lot. We got a lot of things happening. We're going to be in New Orleans
In May.
In May. Well, what we're going to what we kind of do is we make short tours out of. We try to put half a dozen different things together on one trip. We're going to stop in Nashville, then we go to New Orleans,
In Memphis.
and then we come on the way back up. We're stopping in Memphis. I don't know where else. We might get another couple extra stops down there somewhere. That's in May. And then we're going out to Crazy Horse,
The Black Hills.
the Black Hills. We're going to do a
July.
tour through Wisconsin, Minnesota, and South Dakota.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And Connecticut in the fall.
Yeah,
like
we
Labor
got
Day
that.
weekend, New England. So, you know what? Probably the best way to catch us and keep up with us is on our website. We'll post our tour dates.
I have to update that too because I'm
You
way
do.
backed up on that.
Slacker.
Yeah.
I tell you.
You'd swear I never did a thing if you looked at that right now.
You know, it's not like we had the staff to do all this stuff for us. So we're trying to juggle everything. But
You don't have the social media experts helping you, that kind of thing?
no, but you know, it keeps it fun. It keeps us on our toes, and we're always learning new things and
One thing that we realized
flying by the seat of
something
our pants. That's what we're doing.
is I put up on my page today that we were going to do this, right? I think we got four hits on Facebook on that. Now, if I said my goldfish died, I'd have 400 people going, "Oh, sorry for your loss." You know, just,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Or
out
if you
there?
showed pictures of the dinner you had tonight.
Oh yeah.
Or if you
Don't
definitely,
knock dinner.
if you express hate for either side of the political
Ooh,
spectrum,
yeah.
you would probably have hundreds.
Yeah,
Well,
a lot
on
of
both
lot
sides,
of
yeah,
discussion.
it'll
both
blow
sides.
up. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But just something wonderful like this, enjoying music and company and conversation. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's Joe and Sheila again. They're talking about themselves again.
Yeah.
Hey, before we take off, we got a fun one, an up-tempo song we want to do for you. It's kind of new. I don't think you've heard it yet.
Okay. But before we do that, let's just remind everybody. I believe I don't have the schedule in front of me. It's only 150
Keep
acts.
bumping it.
It is Friday, right? That I have you scheduled, April 25th. Oh, so you're not going
You'd
to
have
help
to
me
ask
with
my secretary.
You're not going to help me with this.
My admin assistant.
All right. Well,
I
while,
should know this.
while you're playing the last song, I'll double check on my phone. I apologize. I
I'm
just
sorry.
assumed you would probably remember, but that's okay.
All right, there's a story behind this song.
But anyway, let me finish.
Okay.
April 25th, I believe it's 8 o'clock. It's at the Gaelic League in Corktown, Michigan.
Oh, we love them. We love
And
to go there.
You'll be playing with a bunch of others, if I remember. Again, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I believe Lily McPhee is going to be there that night. Jackie Pappas is going to be there that night, and a bunch of others. And it's a 3-night, 9-venue, all in Corktown, a couple in Southwest Detroit. And I put this together every year, and all proceeds go to Passenger Recovery,
Yeah.
which is a group based in Hamtramck. It's started by a gentleman as part of the band, the Electric Six. And he struggled with addiction for many years, and he fell and got back up again, fell and got back up again. And it's no secret that the music industry is rife with people that have that problem.
Yeah.
And what they do is they provide networking, meetings, where can I get help, not only for people locally, but nationally, all around the country and in the UK.
Wow, that's wonderful.
So anybody, like hypothetically, let's say one of you two had a problem, you're in New Orleans, you're like, oh man, I really feel like a drink, or whatever your drug of choice is. You can get a hold of them, you go online and they'll help you. They'd say, hey, you're about 15 minutes from a meeting that's happening tonight in this location.
That's
Wow,
what it's all about.
That is.
That's that nature of man helping out,
That's
each
good.
other. And yeah, I love that.
And the beauty part of it too is they support anyone and everyone. Everyone's welcome. This has nothing to do with how you look at things politically or otherwise. It's just you need assistance or support or help, we're here for you.
You're saving lives. That's what's happening. You're saving that
Wow.
person's life and maybe somebody that he might run into or run over with a car, or God knows what might happen.
Not to mention all the dear friends and family that,
Yeah.
have to suffer that loss if something does go south.
We've lost people. We have
Yeah.
to these issues, and anytime you need a hand from us, give us a call. We're there.
really
because we
appreciate
really believe in your project. We believe in your work. We want to do all we can to support. Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I personally am going to sign off now. We're going to do one more. Time has run out. I'm sorry, but
Are we done? Can we do a song?
No, I said
take
I'm
it
going to
on.
sign off.
We'll take it on home.
You're
for
going to
ya.
finish.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. We've had a blast with you tonight. Thank you.
All right.
Yes, great.
My pleasure.
We love the work you do. We follow you, and we appreciate you. Thank you. Yay for Scott.
Yay, Scott.
All right, this is a cute song. It's called The Gospel of the D.
Now, what we did was we were part of a program called the Acoustic Guitar Project this
Yeah.
a couple years ago. And we're representing our city, which is Detroit. And so we said, I'm scratching my head, well, how are we going to represent Detroit? So we came up with the idea. We took the song titles of 25 different songs that were either written by Detroiters or sung by Detroiters. So you're gonna notice, and if you want to, you can count these. I think there's 25 or 26 songs that we quote on this. Try to make it into a song and call it the Gospel of the D, which I think it might be suitable. But anyway, we took a little bit of Isley Brothers and a little bit of Motown in here. What? Too much talking?
Our time is up.
Well, I got to say something, don't I?
Don't worry about it. It's all right. It's
Don't
good.
worry about it. Okay.
Yes.
Well, we got it. We'll play a little bit of it for
This
you.
is my
I'm-
this is my living room. You're welcome to do whatever.
Yay.
I like it. All right, here it goes. Sing it loud, sing it loud, sing it loud, sing it loud. Everybody talks about my girl, the way you do the things you do. Follow the tracks, the tears of a clown. My world is empty without you. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. We're all dancing in the street. It's the gospel of the D. It's the gospel of the D. It's the gospel of the D. All right, sing it loud, sing it loud, sing it loud, sing it loud. What becomes of the broken hearted? You know I ain't too proud to bear. Please, Mr. Postman, I'm signed, sealed, delivered. Just reach out and I'll be there. Devil with the blue dress, blue dress, blue dress. You really got a hold on me. It's the gospel of the D. It's the gospel of the D. It's the gospel of the D. All right, sing it loud, sing it loud, sing it loud, sing it loud. People down on Plum Street wanna be your dog on the journey to the center of the mind. Stop in the name of love, talking about that city slang. War, what's going on? Now it's time to kick out the jams. Seven Nation Army, I'll be there, 'cause everybody's got a purpose for me. It's the gospel of the D. It's the gospel of the D. It's the gospel of the D. One more time, Sheila. It's the gospel of the D. All right, sing it loud, sing it loud. Grand Funk ending there.
There you go.
They're folk singers, ain't they?